What's going on, YouTube? We are out here today with my buddy Todd, and we have a 2006 LBZ that we're changing the turbo on today. We're doing a performance upgrade with the Garrett 3794, and I had a slow start today. I fucking left everything at my house and had to go back 3 times and feeling like shit, so late night. But he already has it mostly torn apart when I got here, which is fucking cool because I'm slow. So got the downpipe off, charge pipe, intake, all that stuff. We're gonna pull the up pipes and then basically document how we're gonna get this off. So we're gonna unbolt up pipes and unbolt the oil return and feed lines, and then the turbo mounting bolts should come out. Alright, so now we broke the 3 bottom bolts off the up pipe on the driver's side, and we're trying to break the top bolts loose, which are fucking tight. Once we get the down pipe out, I'll explain to you where all the bolts are and everything. But basically these are super tight. We're using a short breaker bar, a 1/2-inch driving, and they're all 12mm bolts. So we just gotta break these loose, and then we can start undoing the mounting bolts to the turbo and the oil lines, and then pull it out. Fucking A.
You get my fuel rail.
Yep.
Dude, there was so much fucking dirt and shit on the motor, like I didn't wash it first like I wanted.
Yeah.
And I know shit fell down inside the top of the injector.
See, I'd be more worried about injectors than the oil, because the oil just goes in the pan, that return line. But
I did a balance rate test on it afterwards, and everything was normal. I was thinking if shit would have got in there, it seemed like maybe I would have seen something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But who knows?
All right, guys. So we where'd the up pipe go? It's over here. So we have the driver's side up pipe out, and I'm gonna explain to you like how this goes, kind of what the deal is. We had to take this heat shield off first, which was a bitch. There's like I was saying, 3 12mm 12-point bolts on each flange, and then if you can see right here, it goes to the manifold right here, and then up there you have to break them all loose behind the turbo. I'll show you on this one. So this is the new one. So it goes right, they bolt right up to here on this flange on the back side on the top of the block. So once you take the driver's side up pipe out, you gotta take the 3 bolts out of the passenger side up pipe. You can undo the oil feed line or oil return line, and then we'll undo the oil feed line and the 3 mounting bolts, and then she'll be out. Alright, so this was a 14mm banjo, well, it's a 14mm bolt, but it's a banjo fitting that goes in the oil feed line. We took that out. There's, I don't know if you'll be able to see, there's 2 12mm down here. I'll show you after, it's kind of dark. And there's the 3 mounting bolts. So there's one like kind of in this gap right here. It's obviously you won't be able to see here. So there's one right down there. Hold on here. Oh, I can't fucking do this. Alright, you get the idea. There's another one fucking right down there. Maybe I can show you. Alright, you know what? I'll show you when the turbo's out. There's 3 bolts, take them out, and then fucking you can pull the turbo out. So we're gonna pull it out now and just take a look at everything. Yeah. Alright, so we were, the turbo's basically out. We had to disconnect the coolant lines, which are right here and right here, which we forgot about. But anyways, we were just checking things out, and I was just spinning the turbo, and I just checked it for shaft play, and I'd say this thing's pretty toast. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's a forward and back shaft play, so that's pretty bad. So it's probably a good thing we're putting a new turbo in this thing. Should wake it right up. So we'll see with that new turbo how much better it is. That's crazy. I was like going up and down at first, and it like wasn't too bad. It was like a little bit, and then I was like,
that's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Cause this isn't like an S400 turbo. Cause did I tell you about how like I thought my turbo was fucking blown, my big one? Yeah. Yeah. So the S400s have floating like full floater oil journal bearings or whatever the fuck they are. So like, so when there's no oil pressure, there's shaft play because it just sits. But that's pretty bad.
Oh, I wonder when there's oil pressure if it.
It shouldn't be front and back though. It should be up and down.
I see.
Because that torsional You don't want that like forward and back play. It's only up and down.
I wonder if that's why the turbo makes a weird sound. I hear like a weird,
That weird grind.
Like a weird whining sound, not the whistle.
Yeah.
There's another sound that it's been making.
It could have been hitting a bearing.
Fucking Idaho Rob, man, finish this thing off quick, huh?
That's crazy. I'm not ready for this.
50 pounds of shit.
Oh boy. This is fucking grind now. I don't know what the fuck to do with this line. Alright, so we had to kind of cocked it sideways so we can get it by this line right here. So now I'm gonna try and just hopefully fucking work it the rest of the way out. With it fucking what the fuck am I caught on now? Oh, you know, I was thinking why we couldn't go back. Because the fucking up pipe is still in the passenger side. Shit. I think this is what's coming first. Oh boy. Oh, am I fucking stuck at this point? Oh, you're hitting the line's hitting on the bottom here. So we'll see if.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, we might be able to get it out. Look at this fucking bracket right now. Jesus Christ. There we go.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, cooling all over me. All over everything. Alright, here we are. The LBZ stock turbo that was junk is out. I'll show you these 3 bolts. There's one there, there, and there now. Here's the up pipes, and the oil drain line is right there. So you just fucking zip them nuts off, take these bolts out, take these 3 bolts out, and fucking pull the turbo out. And the coolant line's right here, and right here. And here's your Y bridge, just so you know. And the piece, your CP3 is hiding somewhere under there. And yeah, now we're gonna take the new turbo and swap all the fucking oil lines and coolant lines and everything over and get it prepped to go back in. And fucking hopefully we'll have it fixed up here shortly. So we're just cleaning up the old gasket off the return line, and just take the 2 bolts out and pop it off. We got these bolts cleaned up and put back on, or the lines. They're just banjo bolts, so just tighten them up. I'd say about like 20 to 25 foot-pounds is probably good on them. That's about what I estimated my muscles to. So fucking here, I'm gonna show you what's going on with this old turbo though real quick. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but if you can see that movement, yeah, I'll try and get an angle on it so I can fucking show you the. Oops. It's basically fucking toast though. Not too much up and down play. It doesn't look like it was hitting the housing, but it's definitely got some serious fucking shaft play. So this should be a good fill-in for it. Should really liven her up a little bit. So we're gonna get all the things transferred over. Make sure everything's cleaned up in the valley, which it is. Should be. I already cleaned everything. So we can fucking throw that heavy ass fucking hunk of metal back in. It sucks. And then fucking start her up and see what happens. Alright guys, so the installation process is obviously the reverse of taking it out. I didn't film too much of it, but we tightened all 3 of the bolts, put in all of the up pipe bolts on both sides, and we just threaded them in first before we tightened anything down so we could set everything. We have the 2 coolant line connected, both the oil, the feed and the return lines, which I'll show you everything. So the coolant lines came from the side and came over, and then one came up and out over here where I showed you. Oil feed, vane position sensor. We had to, actually this is what we should say, is on the LBZ mouthpiece, we had to grind off the little tabs inside here that fit. There's 3 of them that fit inside here, this groove, that like kind of hold it in place. And we had to grind those off for the new faceplate on this one. Basically, we're installing the intake back, and I gotta tighten up the air compressor. The downpipe is in and bolted up, so it's all set in. You just drop it in from the top. So we dropped it in and set it down, tightened it. So now we're basically just buttoning up all the little things. So all the wiring harness, the plugs, everything, and we're gonna throw a new serpentine belt on. So sorry, if you need any more details or anything, just let me know on the installation, but it's pretty straightforward. The way you pulled it out is the way it goes back in, so just do in reverse. Fairly simple process. So, and we're about, I got here at 10, and it's 2:30. So we're what, like 5 hours in almost?
Yeah.
Probably about 5 hours in, we're almost done, ready for startup, so not doing too bad.
It says to crank it until you get oil pressure before you start it.
Yeah, so we're gonna pull the main, I think it's the main fuel fuse, and crank it and get oil pressure through the whole thing before we go ahead and start it. So we'll go over that when we're doing it. So, but we're just gonna button everything up now and hopefully be ready to start it soon. So the turbo install is about done. We have to put the serpentine belt back on, but while we were digging in here, he has a fuel filter delete. So here we are. I'm gonna walk over everything and like fill you in on what's going on here. So stock fuel filter usually has the fucking water and fuel sensor. So you pull out your fender well over here and you remove your stock filter from, it'll be like right here. So take that off, and then what you have to do is you have to pull the water and fuel sensor out, which looks like that. Make sure you don't lose the O-ring. There's an O-ring right there. Just use channel locks to pull it. Once that's out, you can kind of just drain it. There's gonna be fuel everywhere, so make sure you do it over a catch pan. So drain that. Next is the fuel filter heater, or the fuel heater and the filter head. So here it is. How you do this is there's a T20 torque spit, and these screws hold it in. So once you take these screws out, this goes up in there in the fuel like this. Yeah, I'll show you. This sits up in here like this, and sits up there like that. So there's a screw here and a screw here, like 2 screws right there, and then you can disconnect the power connector and pop it down. Just kind of wiggle it down, or you can press up top on the top of this and push it out. Once you have this out, there will be a ball down inside there, and this spring on top of it, or this spring might stay up in the head. You need to remove this. So once you remove this ball and spring, your truck will not run if you don't fucking take that out and put this in. So you remove that ball and spring, then you can reinstall this with these 2 bolts, and that's what we'll do now. So it's fairly simple. Just be careful taking the screws out and pulling the connector off the top. I'm gonna slide it back up there and tighten the 2 screws, don't over torque them, and we'll keep going with the install. So we got the fuel heater back in, these 2 screws. You gotta be very careful, they're very easy. So I didn't go too tight with them because I didn't want to snap them. The ball and spring are removed. It's plugged back in up here. This plug is on top. Make sure both the O-rings go back on. Now, this comes with a little screw here, which you can tap for fuel pressure, I'm sure. We just put the little plug in there, and we're gonna set this O-ring. Yeah, we're gonna hook up a fuel pressure gauge later on, but for now we're setting this O-ring in here. So maybe take some diesel and just rub it along it so it doesn't get bound up, and then install the fuel filter delete, and that should be all you need to do for it. Now we're gonna crank the truck just till we see oil pressure. We pulled the injection relay, so hopefully it doesn't start, and so we'll go ahead and crank it now. Yep. Hopefully it shouldn't start.
No crank.
Nothing?
Nothing. You know what, here, I'm just gonna jump the starter relay.
Okay.
That'll work.
This one?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And then I got the wire right here for it.
Okay.
Let's see. We wanna do 87 and 30, so the bottom left and the top right.
So we're just gonna jump it so that way it fucking starts cranking over and building oil pressure. Alright, that should be good. Do you want me to turn the key on?
You could, yeah. Well, pull this one relay out, this fuel relay again.
Yep.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, pull the injection one.
Okay. And
All right.
I'll crank that and you can see if you got.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't, I don't know, I don't think it, yep. Yeah, it's not reading anything on the dash.
Gotta be oil pressure.
Yeah. All right, so just put them both back in and we'll start it and see what happens.
And then we'll let it idle for 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I'd say like 5 to 10 minutes, and
All right, go ahead.
everything's back in.
Yep.
Is your fass on?
Air.
Yeah. Yeah, we got oil pressure.
We got pressure right away.
Yeah, it went up to 60. So far, so good. We're gonna check everything for leaks. So, fuel bowl, not leaking. We're gonna watch for oil leaks. So check both your fittings here, the oil leaks, and then watch. So if the back fitting is leaking where for the fucking drain tube, it'll be coming down the side of the transmission. So that's where you're gonna check for that. So we're gonna let it idle for a little bit and let it do its thing, and take it for a test drive here soon. Turbo is done. For a ride.
I was gonna say. That's so I didn't kick the fucking jacks out.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
It's sliding backwards.
Yeah, I've had them like.
This thing should be pretty nuts.
I hate to fucking bash Idaho Rob, but Danville's the way to go.
Yeah. Sideways right there.
We don't need no Idaho Rob.
So this is a 3794 from Danville with a Batmowheel and Idaho Rob, not Idaho Rob, with Danville tunes, and this thing is fucking amazing. This thing is crazy. Alright guys, that is going to do it for tonight's video. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. Sorry it got so late. I thought we were going to film some more stuff, but it ended up changing. I'm using my phone light to blind me. Basically, installed a new turbo on an LBZ, which we found out the stock turbo was actually messed up. So crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So today was a success. We installed the turbo in about 6 hours, start to finish, like done deal. Obviously, people are running into issues. Sometimes you may be able to do it faster. We had our own issues. But for those of you who want to know, an LBZ turbo can be installed in about 6 hours with 2 people, you know, both mechanically inclined, but you can do it. I promise you. If you have any questions, you know, feel free to ask like always, or leave a comment of anything you guys want to see. We have some really big plans coming up soon, so please stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'll try and do some thumbs up here, you know, give it a good thumbs up. And please share and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow we're doing some more big things with this white LBZ, so stay tuned, guys. We'll catch you later.